Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi. Welcome back again with me, Miss Dewi, in our Science Year 3. Now, we are in the first chapter in our third semester. It is about change in material. What is it about? Let's take a look. So, in the change of material, we will learn about what is the material. So, the material actually, it is what an object made of. You remember, we already discussed it on our previous chapter. Now, what can cause the material change? So, the action of press, twist, hammer, bend, pull, and stretch can cause the material change. And what is the change that happened? This is the physical change. What is it? So, the physical change when the material change in size and shape. So let's take a look one by one. In the physical change, what kind of shape of force of something straight into a curve or an angle? We call this bend. So this man bend the parallel, and also the picture of somebody bend the ruler. And so this is the action of bend. What about the action that cause remove something by pulling and rotating it? We call it twist. So this is a man twist a towel, and also somebody twist the ruler. So this is the action of twist. What about the physical change caused by applied pressure to something? We call it press. So look, the toy is press. Also, the battle button is press. And also the button of the machine, it is press. What about the physical change that exert force on someone or something so as to cause movement towards oneself, movement towards, so the movementnya go forward. We call it pull. So this man is pull the carriage with the baby. What about this? A boy pulls some box, and this man is pulling the baggage. Now the physical action, the physical change. Now, a physical change that makes a part of a mechanism that hits another part to make it work. And we use the tool named hammer, so we call it hammering. So hammer is a part of mechanism of hits another part to make it works. Look, the hammer is crushing the apple. The hammer is crushing the can, and this is the hammer crushing a hot metal. Next, let's go into the physical change that of something soft or elastic be made or be capable of being made longer or wider without tearing or breaking. We call it stretch. So this is a man stretch the rubber band. This is a hand stretch some of things. This is a hand stretch the rubber band. So we call this action stretch. Okay guys, so beside those actions that make the physical change with material, the material can change when they are heated or cooled. So when the material heated, most material expand or grow bigger when heat. When an object expands, it becomes bigger. And what about changes happen when they are cooled? Most material contract when cooled. When an object contracts, it becomes smaller. So they are getting bigger when they are heated, and they are getting smaller when they are cooled. This is most of the material happens with that. and the material expansion of metal and liquid gas. To learn about the material expansion when heated, let's watch this video. So I give you two links of video about how about gas and liquid expansion and how about the metal expansion. Enjoy them soon, right? Next, now the material change in two different way. First is the temporary change and the second is the permanent change. What is that? Let's learn one by one. The material change and temporary change. So the materials can return into their original size and shape easily after they change. No new substance forms. And then we call it reversible change or temporary change. Let's see the example. Look, if we cool the water in freezer, it changes into a solid ice. So if we freeze the water, we change into the solid or ice. And then if we put the ice in a normal temperature, the ice will back melting into the liquid, or the ice will back into the water. And they can go back and forth. We call it temporary change. The water can change into ice and the ice can back change into the water. And then what is the other example of temporary change? Look, when we pull the rubber band, it stretches. The shape and size of the rubber is changed. And then when we let the rubber, it back into the original shape. That's why we also classify it as temporary change. What about this? If we twist the elastic ruler, its shape changes into spiral. If we release it, it back to the original shape, flat. What else the example of temporary change? Do you know the chocolate bar? So when we heat the chocolate bar, it will change into a liquid chocolate. But once we cool the liquid chocolate, they can change into a hard chocolate again. So that's why they come into the temporary change example. And then when we have a paper and we're folding it into the paper airplane, the shape changes into the paper airplane. But once we unfold the paper, it backs into the original shape, which is flat. What about the other? What about if we press the ball? It changes into the smash ball shape. And then if we release the ball, it changes to the normal ball again. It's rounded. And also this is, if we freeze the water, it changes the shape into ice. Once we put in a room temperature, it will back to the water again. So that is the example of temporary change. Now, what about the material change that called permanent change? Materials cannot return to their original size and shape easily after they change. There is a new substance form, and we call it irreversible change or permanent. They cannot turn back again. Example, there is a wood, and if we burn the wood, it will change into ash. And then the ash cannot change into wood again. We call it permanent change. What about the other example? Look, if we have an egg and we cook it, it will change into the scrambled egg. But the scrambled egg cannot back again into the egg. or its original shape. That's we call permanent change. What about the other example? Look, when we put the nail outside, it will change the shape. So the new nails change into the rusty nails. And the rusty nails cannot back into its new nails again. So that's why it's called permanent change. Look, if we have a peanut and then we grind in it, it becomes a peanut butter. But the peanut butter cannot change back again to the original peanut. That's why we call permanent. What about the other? Look at this. Do you know what is this? Yes, this is the dough. If we bake the dough, it changes into a bread. And the bread cannot change back into dough. That's what we call permanent. What about this? When we hammer the glass window, it changes shape into pieces. And those pieces broken glass cannot back into the window's glass again. We call it permanent. What about this? Yes, when we cut the paper, it will change the shape into pieces of paper. And these pieces of paper cannot back into the full paper again. So that's what we call permanent change. And then, guys, we know that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So keep your hard work, everyone. I'm so proud of you. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.